YouTubers, I bought a new screen. Here it is. It's a Puig street screen for my GSX S1000. I got it from Motia, these people here, which were they're based in Germany. Let's just turn this radio down. Let's open up the box. Got it one-handed because I'm holding my cup of tea. There she is. Light tint. I'll take it out of the packaging. There it is. Looks extremely good quality. I've used Puig before on previous bikes and always been really happy with them. Great quality. And it all comes pre-assembled on this mounting bracket, so hopefully it should be quite straightforward to fit. I just thought it'll probably offer a little bit more wind protection than the fly screen that I've got fitted. So that's going to mount somewhere. I know it'll sit higher up, so certainly give a bit more wind protection. Anyway, I'll crack on and get it fitted. Right, first job, remove the existing Suzuki fly screen, 3.5mm Allen key. You can see I've already slackened them off, so we'll get the screen off and then have a look, see what's underneath. Right, with the screen off, then got to remove the little brackets that were holding the screen on, and again same 3mm Allen key. So remove them. Oh, I can't do it one-handed. Right, that's how the bike would look without the Suzuki fly screen. So that is a kind of standard look. Obviously you take the screws out for this, and then there's a little clip inside this piece, whether you can see that little tang there, goes into a white clip that fits inside here. I've already removed it because it's really fiddly. You can easily drop it down the inside there and probably lose it. So that bit's done. Next step is to remove the Phillips screw there. Hope you can see that, this one. That holds the LCD dash in place. So I've already slackened it. So basically that can come out, and then the whole dash will just lift out, and as we lift it out, it's on rubber bungs, it'll just push up, and then we disconnect the electrical connector just there. Right, that's the little dash off. It's got them little pins there that go into a rubber bung. They're quite tight, so if you have to make sure you push them up and keep them nice and straight. Obviously you don't want to risk snapping them off. There's the connector. On this connector, to release it, if I can get in there to show you, there's just a little clip that you have to push in. There's a little tang on that connector. It's really awkward to do one-handed, whether you can see it there, and you just have to push that in to release it. That one there. Bit awkward one-handed. Next stage is to remove these Allen bolts. I'll get in close so you can see them. Excuse me, there's two 4mm, and they just slacken off. Once you slacken them all the way, they can be removed. Right, once them 2 bolts have been removed, you'll find the whole headlight will drop away, so you've got access for the headlight bulb, the side light bulbs, bits and pieces. Here you can see all the wiring for my sat nav. Right, the next step is to remove the bracket off the back of the new screen. There's the bracket. It's already mounted, but you've got to release it from the screen to mount onto the bike. And it's just a case of undoing the 4 Allen keys, which are again a 3mm key. Right, I've took the screen off. So now what I've got to do is take this little cowl off the bracket. So basically all I'm left with then is the bracket. The cowl comes off. Again, it's 3 little Allen keys, and they're all a 3mm key. Right, I think I've worked out how this little bracket fits. Right, with the headlight closed back in, that will sit inside, and them 2 little lugs, can't really show you, it's a bit dark as well, there we go, that sits on top on both sides, and that sits in there. And then the existing screws, job to show you, inside there, that'll be relocated with the existing screws, so it all fits up there nice. And then on the top here, where the bracket comes round there, you've got supplied screws, and I'll show you in a minute how that locates. I can't do it one-handed. So there's the bracket anyway, that's ready to accept the screen. And if I let that drop away, this is one of the little, there's 2 of these, and they're shaped, and they've like got a hank bush, we used to call them in engineering. So it's all threaded inside, ready to accept the screw, and that is shaped so that will sit, hope you can see this, it's a bit awkward, that will sit in there, it's shaped, and obviously the screw will go through the top of the bracket and into that. It's a little bit of a faff, and the instructions are not, I've got two sheets of instructions, one's in English and one's in Spanish. But you can work it out from the pictures. Right, get the bracket fitted. That's the bracket in place. It was a bit of a fiddle, but nice and neat. It's in there, whether you can see, the light's not too good. There we go. Right, the bracket's all fitted, looking very neat, and I got my dash back on as well. It's a bit awkward getting the wiring loom back onto the LCD panel, but what I did was I got a pair of long nose pliers in and just held the wiring loom in place and then pushed the clocks back onto the wiring loom. That was the easiest way of doing it, because it's really tight and it was quite fiddly. So next step, I think, let's get the screen back on. Oh, and on here where my original Suzuki screen was, there's 2 holes where it was mounted. I've just put some rubber grommets in there just to fill the holes up. I don't know whether the screen will cover that or not, I don't think it will, so I'll just put some grommets in just to tidy it up, and that's it. Job's a good one. Quite pleased with that. I think that looks really nice. Makes the bike, front end of the bike, look quite different. It's a nice clean installation. So all I need to do now is get out on the bike and see how it compares. Well, so far so good. Definitely does offer more wind protection. I mean, it's quite breezy today, so it's quite a good test for it. But there's noticeably less wind pressure on the chest. You can still feel it around the tops of the shoulders, but I mean, that's fine. But certainly less pressure on the chest. Do like the look of the screen. The shapes sort of, you know, around the edges and that, they match the shapes on the bike. As I said earlier, I've had Puig screens on I had a Puig screen on a ZX10 and it was superb. And I think I also had a Puig on old ZX9R that I had. Overtake, woo, front wheel up, slow down, steady on, boy, Jesus. Yeah, definitely a big improvement. Find yourself going a bit quicker because there's less wind pressure, see, it sort of lulls you into that feeling that you're not going as quick. I'm used to quite a bit of wind blast in the chest. Yeah, really pleased with that. And nice, you know, when you do sort of longer distances, it's not going to be so tiring. Big improvement. Woo! Airborne again. Yeah, very pleased with that. Very pleased. Ooh, baby. Bet she's only about 13. Terrible. Excuse me, flagged up today. Yeah, huge improvement. I mean, we've got quite a strong, not a full-on headwind, but a strong crosswind. And even with that, it feels loads much better. Feel the airflow across your body, but it's smooth. Stop off at McDonald's and have a cheeky latte. Might even manage a quarter pounder, feeling a bit peckish. I think every time I go out on my bike I finish up here. Press my little gadget. They're pleased with this little remote control. Get past this lorry when I can. There we go. Yeah, so anybody out there with the GSX S thinking about getting a screen, or maybe like myself you have the Suzuki fly screen, I can definitely recommend the Puig screen. It's a nice fit, looks nice on the bike, it's nice clean installation. What I didn't show on the video when I was installing the screen, just prior to me actually putting the screen on, I fitted the bracket in that, and whether you can see you've got this little bit of a cowl at the back of the screen that covers up the bracket and everything, and it also fits perfectly around your LCD screen. Nice touch, really finishes it off, and as I say, it just it looks lovely. But yeah, definitely an improvement. So if you're thinking about getting a screen, I can highly recommend the Puig screen. I've been watching it, I've seen it on eBay, and I was sort of in two minds, shall I, shan't I, will I, won't I? And excuse me, and then the seller, let's say that in Germany, reduced the price by 19%. So I thought, right, I'll get one. That just twisted me arm. I thought, right, I'll have one now, and really glad I did. Oh, these are going slower than I realised. Tractor. Go on then, Mr. Van, if you're going by. The indication would have been nice. Oh, indicate to come in, but don't indicate to go by. Have it. Not a bad day today. Bit wet first thing, but dried up nice now. It's warm. It's supposed to be better tomorrow. A bit more sunshine again tomorrow. Should be very welcome, as it's as I'll be off. Just worked 5 days, all the bank holiday weekend, and I've got a couple of days off. So, make the most of it. quite interesting because with the Puig screen you get like a fact sheet come with it, and it shows you the wind tunnel test, sort of with the standard Suzuki fly screen, and then it shows you the results with the Puig screen. And it reduces wind pressure by, I think it's about 50%. I mean, how relevant these tests are, I don't know, but now I've ridden the bike with the screen on, I would say they're pretty accurate. Beautiful time of year now. May going into June, it's fabulous. Everywhere so green and lush. Bit of sunshine for a while. I took my old Benelli for an MOT a couple of weeks ago. Got an old Benelli 250 2C and took it, got it MOT'd, and I know the guy. He's got his own motorcycle service business. I mean, he's good, he really knows his stuff, he's Honda trained, but he does MOTs now, so I thought I'd take my Benelli, and it passed, went through, no advisories. Just a bit of a question mark on the 6-volt electrics, which are very dim, like headlight and things, that runs off the magneto, but that is what it is. But we were chatting, I told him I'd bought this GSX S, and he says, oh, I took one out, he says, I hated it. So I says, well, you know, why did you hate it? He says it was gutless. And I was a bit taken aback. I thought, how the hell can you say, after riding one as well, how can you say, you know, it's gutless? I mean, they're anything but. But he says, oh, I rode the 750, and he says that was crap. That was his words. And he says that I took the 1000 out, and he says it wasn't a lot better. Said it wouldn't wheelie. Well, I hardly think that's, if I test rode a bike, that wouldn't be my first consideration. And I know these do wheelie. I've had this wheelied on me today. I've had it wheelie a few times. But he said it wouldn't wheelie. I says, well, did you have the traction control off? And he says, oh, well, I don't know. I says, well, it won't wheelie with the traction control on, because part of what that does is anti-wheelie. But I was just a bit taken aback. I thought, people's expectations, he must have very high expectations. I mean, I think any 1000cc bike, you can't really turn around and say they're gutless. Modern day 1000cc bikes are, to me, I think they're absolutely amazing. I mean, I've had 1000cc sports bikes and street bikes, you know, sort of through the 1980s, and they're a very different animal to what they were then. Problem was, back then the bikes were always overgeared. They were a lot more relaxed when you were cruising in top gear, but the problem was they were overgeared. So if you wanted a spurt of acceleration to get you past a car, it normally meant going down, you know, a couple of gears. They were slower revving and overgeared. But I think the modern day 1000s, it doesn't matter what you're riding, I think they're pretty amazing. So to turn around and say that the bike was gutless, it does. I thought, well, where are you coming from? But hey ho, it takes all sorts. Oh, I hate getting stuck in traffic. It's not really that safe to do overtakes down here though, because there's too many junctions. It's time of day now though, it's nearly 4:15. So a lot of people doing the daily commute. It's funny, if I was in my car, you just sit and go with the flow. It doesn't bother me. Have the stereo on and, you know, do my journey. But when I'm on the bike, I get frustrated. It's not because I want to go tearing off, but you do tend to cruise a bit quicker on the bike. Biggest thing, I like a clear view of the road. I don't like sitting behind something and not having a clear view of the road. Yeah, definitely a big improvement, that screen. Definitely. You're not hanging on so much at speed. I mean, obviously you still feel the wind across your shoulders, but not with the same sort of pressure. Anyway, YouTubers, I'll sign off, otherwise it's gonna finish up another hour-long video and bore you all to death. So I'll sign off now and just say thanks for watching. Leave a comment if you got any questions, or just want to, you know, have a bit of banter, tell me what you think. I appreciate your comments. Bye for now, stay safe.